Didn't expect this in Scotland, but as you know, it doesn't last. Rain doesn't last long in Scotland, so we should be all right. The forecast is better to get as we get east, so you should be riding into the sun. Which, so I suspect you'll get to a point and you will be stripping off and stuff like that. Hopefully. After lunch, we've got the big climb of the day. Yeah. So what we're going to do, it's only 6 miles, well it's 6 miles of climbing, but we're going to put, it's only 6 miles, but what we're going to do, okay, it is the Peak Tours Hill Challenge, yeah, fastest client, 27:20, fastest guide, you want to beat Graham Hill, 25 minutes dead, and fastest woman, 35:50, yeah.
Fastest man?
Fastest man was 27:20 unless you take in the guide.
Fastest OAP?
We'll have to research that one a bit. If you're not,
I think that's a good category.
If you're not in the time challenge, take it easy because it is a long, hard climb through what I can get. It comes in 3 stages: up, down a little bit, up, flat, and then up forever. Yeah. So, but Briefed tomorrow.
Okay, and by the Speenbridge Commando Memorial at 26 miles, weathered improved, and the time came for the brew stop, and I can put the camera back on my head. We accidentally have leapfrogged a number of people by just staying on the road, because that's what I thought we were told to do, so that's what I did. Officially it wasn't raining, it was just low cloud. So following the A82 out of Fort William, having accidentally avoided the minor road diversion which the route notes actually told us to take, because it was all a bit wet and ish really, and I wanted to get where we needed to go as quickly as possible. Here we are, going over the Caledonian Canal and the Lagan Swing Bridge. Caledonian Canal, Swing Bridge. Oh, it's a swing bridge. Wow. Oh, I do like swing bridges. I like any sort of big engineering. So the tourist information is on our left.
Paul, was that your bottle?
Yes. No, this time.
You hit a bump and it shot across the road into the bushes. That's why I was so far behind it. Across the road, get it out the bushes and come back.
You're a very thoughtful person, sir.
A car just missed it. Some people have actually ridden on it, the fools.
Well, I think if you ride on the canal, you're going to tend to sink. But
you have to hire a boat for 2 or 3 weeks and fiddle along in the canal.
I think that,
well,
my wife is very clear that she's never going to do that. Just like she's never ever going to go and stay in a tent. She's not going to do canal boating. She apparently had a traumatic experience when she was about 26, 27. So it's not going to happen. Okay, just riding out of Fort Augustus, the bottom of what is the toughest climb on the whole thing apparently. The record is 25 minutes and I'm going to be nowhere close to that, and that's entirely fine with me. I'm just going to try and see if I can manage this without walking. Okay, that's about 20 minutes gone and the first of the 3 sections done without stopping. Unfortunately, the red lights here were not against me and I could just carry on because I'm really trying hard not to stop. This is a little flat section before it does it again, apparently. So I need to take a drink. Okay, that's the second of 3 parts done, and as you can see this bit is relatively flat, so I know this isn't the top because I've looked at the gradient map and it just flattens out a bit for a short while and then it goes again, but it's a relative rest. And there's no way I'd have been able to manage this non-stop at the beginning of the holiday, but having had 10 days of intensive training for the Highlands. So far, coping well. Got to drink some more, so camera off.
Not far now.
This is a lovely spot, isn't it? Loch Taff. No bathing. Ooh, there's another bit of hill to go, so actually I was optimistic on that flattish bit. That was actually the middle and not 2/3 of the way through. This is 2/3 of the way through. I've got another bit to go. Beautiful part of the country, isn't it? This time I'm just putting the camera on because although I'm still going uphill and I haven't reached the top, though I still haven't stopped for even a moment, it's just a beautiful landscape, at least in the sunshine line that this it is. Lovely. Getting people to do this Land's End John O'Groats in the wet, oh, must be vile, absolutely vile. We've been very, very lucky with the weather. I should add so far because there's 2 more days for it to go horribly wrong. It's flattened, well, it's flattened out again, but experience has shown me that this doesn't mean it's the end of the climb. It may just have flattened out for a little bit, and I don't really know until I reach the cairn, which is the top of the pass, which is definitely not over there. Well, I can see the clear downhill road, so I'm going to go round this corner with the camera still on, and I expect to see another rise and I'll have to drop gears again. This is I'm now in the lowest gear in normal range, that is to say not the hill climbing range, which is approximately 3 more gears lower than this, possibly 2, because this takes me along at 5 miles an hour and the other to take me along at 4 and 3 miles an hour relatively speaking. Right, well this unfortunately is a down, which presumably means there's another up. Yes, you can see it just over there. I think I can see the cairn now. Well, this must be the top because I can see a load of cyclists hanging around, some of whom I recognise. At least some shirts I recognise, so that makes it, oh, absolutely definitely to the top. Oh, and look at that view as it comes into sight over the top of the hill. Wow, that is impressive, isn't it? That is definitely impressive. It's quite a view. Hey, where's the brew van?
It was there, but some people went on 10 miles.
Oh, went on. Oh, it's gone on 10 miles. Bastards! And I was so looking forward to a cup of tea at this point.
Yeah, well, we decided to fly on. But I've stayed here with some
You've stayed here?
for years if you want.
Yeah, that's a very good idea. Wow. It's a nice place to be in the nice weather, isn't it?
It is.
Wouldn't be a nice place to be in the bad weather. Can you imagine what it must be like for poor suckers doing this when it's pouring with rain? 2 weeks of rain, and you come to this and you go, what? This is the unexpectedly early arrival of Brian. I'm expecting a certain amount of swearing, but my goodness, he's got here and he's got here in bloody good time, because he's only 10 minutes behind me coming up that absolutely serious hill. Amazing, absolutely amazing. Brian, you're a bloody brilliant cyclist. What can I say? I'm unbelievably impressed with you. Bloody good. Very tough. And I was thinking, and I can imagine you swearing under your breath all the time. Bloody brilliant. Well done. And then down the far side you have this. Meanwhile, my bike had blown over in the wind, and I have had to do a little bit of emergency repair, so I'm being, well, not just realigning things, so I'm just being careful for the first bit. Make sure everything's running smoothly, which it seems to be. Everything seems to be. I'm going to go over this cattle grid because there's no way I want to get off and stop for this. So just confidently over the cattle grid. Oh, rattle and roll. What a view. Fabulous. So following the A82 out of Fort William, having accidentally avoided the minor road diversion which the route notes actually told us to take, because it was all a bit wet and ish really, and I wanted to get where we needed to go as quickly as possible. Anyway, following the A82 out of Fort William towards Fort what's it called after it's called? I will now look at my grid notes. Fort Augustus, sorry, which is where we're having lunch in about 20 miles time, followed by an enormous climb. Weather improving, heavy traffic through until Fort Augustus now. Top and over and down beside Loch Ness. This is Loch Ness, and we're now moseying along beside Loch Ness on our way to Inverness in the beautiful sunshine, which is quite a contrast from this morning, of course. So here we are, having a delay. Hello Vic, you're on television, we'll shortly be on YouTube anyway, as we have the inevitable Brian has another puncture. This is the downside of the highly efficient tyres, is they have a tendency to go.
Here, right here.
But fortunately, when it went, it was just before the brew wagon, support wagon arrived. So the timing was perfection itself. Liberty is trying to make absolutely bloody sure it doesn't keep on happening, which is what happened last time. That way, I think that looks like a castlish thing to me.
Past the cathedral.
Yeah.
Okay.
You go that way, do you?